Why Democrats and Republicans Hate Each Other by Sam Moore. Abraham Lincoln once said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." Well, today our government has become more divided than ever, with Democrats and Republicans being more willing to fight with each other and then debate important issues because of their attachments to their parties and the government's systemization of them. I chose this topic because I believed it was a rising problem that should be looked into, and have now learned it's far worse than that. Because if political parties continue to slander and hate each other, it could very well mean the end of democracy as we know it. You could argue that it all began with Abraham Lincoln, though he had good reason to start it. He abolished slavery of African Americans in 1861, which caused a civil war, which caused an underlying resentment between the two parties. While they would seem to get along for the majority of the 90s to 2000s, the graph on screen shows a massive gap that started in 2012. This is mainly due to Americans shifting the importance of politics from individual liberty to individual identity, adopting the beliefs and perspectives of their party instead of their own, starting an unending cycle of hatred. This cycle is facilitated by three main things: political attachments, politically active people being unwilling and unable to let anything aside from their party define them, gerrymandering, where political parties essentially pigeonhole states into voting for them, and incentives over priorities, where elected officials are incentivized to care more about what their party wants instead of what they or the people want. You see, the more attached you become to your political party, the more you adopt their beliefs as your own, and the more that happens, the easier it becomes to see anyone with a differing belief as more of a threat and less of a human. This is deeply undemocratic, as it becomes more about victory against the enemy instead of coming to a conclusion after looking at both sides. While this greatly affects voter turnout, chasing away more independent people while leaving the extremely politically motivated to stay and continue fighting, it also could cause those that remain to accept policies that are against the people, simply because they slight the other party. The only political remedies are adding a third party to the ballot, or a complete realignment and or collapse of either or both parties. Two things that are both extremely difficult to do in the modern age, due to lack of funding and how quick politics adapt to public surroundings, so that they remain the hate fest they are. But it's something we must address before it becomes even worse than it already is. More often in the present than the past, problems related to political hate have caused riots and hate attacks from political partisans that have made their political alignment their beliefs. This is something that needs to be addressed and dismantled, because if it isn't, it could mean the end of our democracy by leaving the important political decisions in this country in the hands of the modern equivalent of a vicious, angry mob. These are my sources. My name is Samuel Moore, and I'm doing this as my capstone presentation for Politics 201. Thank you.